Yeah, man, I know say me represent for 3billz Food, the baddest chef in Toronto. She say she wanna go round a 3billz yard. Say she wanna go round a 3billz yard. She say she wanna go round a 3billz yard. Stop it out till tomorrow, him no trail off. Take away all of your sorrows, get a clean heart.
Wagwan everybody, welcome to 3billz Cooking. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make authentic Jamaican jerk chicken. Not that foolishness that they're selling in the shops and all over the place claiming it's jerk chicken. So I want to start off with showing you guys the chicken that you have to use. Preferably, you're supposed to use leg and thigh. These pieces that I have right here, these work best just because it has like the most meat that don't dry out, and it's just like the perfect, it has the skin, everything about this is perfect. So we're gonna start with cleaning it, right? You don't know already, we're gonna use some salt and vinegar. I don't have no lime, but cleaning chicken is a must when it comes to making any sort of Jamaican food. Meat has to get clean, fish has to get clean. You just want to do this process a few times, just run it through the water and massage it. If you don't know, I'm going to show you guys. If you know, you can just skip past this part, but you have to massage it a couple times. I like to do mine about 3 times to ensure that there's no bacteria and nothing left. And make sure you clean out the kitchen when you're done also. So when you're making jerk chicken, you want to make like 3 slits like this, how I'm showing it here, because it's going to ensure that the seasoning gets deep down into the bones. And you want to chop off, I like to chop off that piece right there, but you see these like pieces of fat and extra skin, you can chop them off. But here, what you don't want to chop off all of the fat, because you're going to save some of that and it's going to keep the chicken from getting dry. When you put it on the grill, it's not going to dry out. So I'm going to show you guys the next piece. You guys just do the same thing over and over with all the pieces that you have. I have maybe about a couple pound of chicken, not too much, maybe 10 pound, and I'm going to be jerking up to 10 pound. You just want to repeat the process for all of them. Remember, like I was saying, you don't want to take off too much of the fat, just the pieces, the big heavy jobbly piece. Nobody wants to eat that, but you have to keep some of the fat to keep the meat from getting dry when it's on the grill, or if you decide to put it in the oven. But authentically, it's made on the grill. So the season I'm going to use is Chief Jerk season. It comes from Trinidad, but it's nice. And this is named pimento leaf. You can add some of those. This is a jerk marinade, but you can blend up your own green season if you want to. This just saves time. You have to use good ones though. And this is some pimento seed. This is all-purpose seasoning, onion powder. And you want to make sure you stab up the chicken like this before you add any seasoning on it. You know how you slit them up? You want to stab it up also to just ensure that the meat gets, well seasoned deep down. So here I'm adding in all the seasoning. Now this is the onion powder and the pimento leaf, the all-purpose seasoning, all those things. You want to make sure you season your chicken well and nice and thoroughly. Jerk chicken is a chicken that has to be seasoned strongly, not overpowerly, but it can't be weak. It needs to have flavor. You know what I mean? When you're adding the jerk marinade, the jerk can, whatever you call that, the jerk sauce thing, you don't want to put too much, depending on how much you're making. If you're making enough chicken, you don't know already, you have to add like 3 whole jars. If you're only making about some for the host, you don't want to add too much, because it can get very pepper. And if there's kids eating it and stuff, it will mash up the kids' mouth. But when you're mixing up the seasoning in the meat, you want to ensure that you're shoving it deep down in the slits, in the cuts, because all that there, it like I said earlier, it ensures seasoning, deep seasoning. I don't have no red stripe beer, and I'm going to use a Heineken beer. And we're going to pour this over the chicken and make the chicken soak this up too. Bro, when I tell you, this makes the chicken have a extra tenderness and niceness to it. Boy, it's something crazy. So you can let it sit for about, some people let it sit for a day. I'm letting it sit for 72 hours. That's how I like mine. And you want to put it in the oven for about, maybe I'll say 40 minutes before you put it on the grill. Now this is on the grill after about 10-15 minutes. When you put it in the oven to pre-cook, it speeds up the process on the grill. This now is how it looks when it's about done. You want to spray it up with some more beer. If you have even Pepsi, you can use Pepsi, but I'm using some Heineken because once again, I have a red stripe. You can also add some jerk sauce on it now at this time and leave it at the top rack just to let it soak in. But this is how it looks when it's done. You will know when your chicken is done. You don't want to burn up the chicken or dry out the chicken, but when the chicken is done and nice, boy, I'm telling you, you want to chop it into like 4 pieces or 3 pieces, whatever this comes out to. I think 4 pieces gonna chop into. This is how jerk chicken is supposed to serve, not one big whole long thing. You see how it's like this now with some ardo bread, some festival. You put it in pieces of foil and you eat it like this. You can eat it after dance, you can eat it after school, you can eat it for dinner. So you guys seeing it now. This is how you make authentic Jamaican jerk chicken. I hope you guys enjoy the recipe and let me know what you think about it and what you want to see next time on Tree Billz Cooking.
Yeah, man, I know, say me represent for 3 Billz Food, the baddest chef in Toronto.